Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you what I've done. I made this one and gave you guys a bit of an update. And what I'm going to do, this is made with a square stitch or herringbone stitch. And we're going to talk a bit about that because a few people have asked me to do them. And I love the way it looks very like everything's lined up perfectly, and then it feels like the smaller beads are just kind of folding in on the pearl. You can do this with a Rivoli as well. It looks really lovely, and it does both sides. But I ran into a couple of problems that I was not too happy about. And maybe if you guys have suggestions of a video for me to watch, I did watch a few. And maybe you've done it yourself, so you can give me some hints of what I'm doing wrong. And but in the meantime, I did say I would show you how to do it, and it's definitely worth looking at. So here's a strip that I started. So it looks really pretty like this, but we'll talk a bit about the problems I had. So, and we got these lovely, we had finished necklaces in the Curiosities box, which were add-ons to the box itself. So a huge thank you to John Bead for that. So I took mine, the ones they sent. Now they sent me a bunch, so don't think you didn't get 3 necklaces. Everybody got one necklace and it could be totally different. If you got some that were different that you didn't see me make something with, let me know which one you got and I can pull apart that one and make it. The only one I didn't do anything with was the gray one. And I haven't pulled it apart yet. So, but definitely these pearls are delicious. So we had to do some lovely stuff with it. So let me just say for this one here, I actually did peyote stitch on it after I did a few of these and ran into some problems. So, and if you're interested, we can do one with the peyote stitch and with this top Rivoli to accent it like that. And this is meant as a pendant. You can do an earring with it as well. I kind of struggled with what to do with this, and then I just ended up with a very simple bail, which will fit on a fairly large beaded chain if you want to do, or just a regular chain. So we'll put that one aside. We'll actually put all of these aside. And maybe I'll quickly talk about the problems I ran into. So first of all, I feel like you need a lot of thread because you're weaving in and out of the beads multiple times. So let's take a look here at the strip that I made. This one I did really carefully so that I wasn't passing through more times than needed. So here's the first thing you need to consider is what thread you're using. Definitely John Bead thread works for this, but you might want to dye your thread with the magic marker or the Sharpie marker technique I use, because as you can see this little threads here. And sometimes, yeah, you can kind of see it here as well. And you know what? It's really simple. Like you could do a yellow marker and that thread, you'd lose the thread. You wouldn't see white. So it's really, that's a simple fix. The other thing that I had a problem with, so I wanted to create, this is the first one I created, and I put these beads along the edges and tried to make them evenly spaced, which was I found difficult with this. And I don't know, with peyote stitch, I find it a little easier to get the count correct. But anyway, this one here, I've just put it through the one side, and I'm attempting to come back. You see how you can push this down and then thread it through the other side. So it's kind of attached to the one strand or the one bead, and you want it very centered. So you have to go back and attach that. With this one here, I made a mess. I just went up and around and through everything I could. Again, you can't see that, but if you're picky like me, those are the kind of things you're like, I need to figure out a way to do this that's not going to be like very messy threads shown everywhere. So, and again, this one here, I had to do, this pearl is touching that bead that's attached to here, but that's two pearls and a bicone. And again, like it looks even at a distance, but really I would like to have this in the middle of two pearls in the middle. And that was easily achieved with the peyote stitch. So let me know if I'm just being a bead snob and I like peyote stitch, because I have a lot to learn too. So we're going to you need your 14 millimeter pearl. If you don't have this, if you didn't get this one, any 14 millimeter pearl will work. You could even practice with a, acrylic bead if you want. Acrylic beads look awesome dressed up too. So you're going to need some 11O seed beads. And I'm doing this in gold. You can do whatever color. Actually, we'll need a few of these. You need some 15Os, gold, or matching whatever color you're going to do. You're going to need some fine thread. So I'm going to take a wingspan of this Nymo thread that I got through John Bead, through my my bead pusher, as my wife calls it. And I have to say, I did get a new Christmas gift in my stocking. I'm still learning to use it. I did find you can see it's getting kind of, there's like burnt stuff on it. So that's why they include this. And you have to be careful not to touch your pearls with this hot. I did find it it put a little bit of the nylon from the thread onto the pearl. I was able to scrape it off, but you don't want to be doing that. That's not nice. And I'm using a size 12 needle. I'm going to use this lovely bent needle. Works better for me. You can see as you're going, it gets bent. I don't know that I need it that bent, but we'll see. Now, this is the problem with the thread burner, using it to cut your thread. It creates like a hard bead on the end, and you can't get it through your needle. So let's see, otherwise we'll cut it with the scissors. Yeah, so I just mashed it down. That. Okay, so you can use a stop bead, but I find with herringbone, because our first set we're going to put 4 beads on, fold it over, that it automatically has a stop bead in a sense. So I'm just going to do it that way. So pick up 4 11Os. That. Bring it down, and I'm going to leave a bit of a tail, maybe 12 inches. Between 6 and 12, it's up to you. So now you have your 4 beads. You're just going to go through the first 2. Like that. Bring that down. And it folds over nicely. Like that. Then Now what you're going to do is you're going to add 2 15-0 beads. So you're coming out of these 2 beads. You're going to go down with your 15-0s on there, and you're going to go through the bottom of those 2 beads like that. Pull that through, and they're going to sit right next to those 2 beads you went through. Now you want to go to the other side, go down those 2 beads, that, and you're going to pick up 2 15s. You're going to go back down, just going to hold on to them here. I'm going to flip it over, just making it easier for me to hold on to. So that's what you have so far. So this is your tail here, and this is your working side. So now we're going to go back up those 2 11-0s, and that'll kind of close that up a bit as well. There. Now we're going to pick up 2 11-0s. We're only going to go down through one of those. So you kind of have to use your nail to kind of maneuver your needle through. And I think I'm going to enlarge that a little. I'm going to move my beads up so you can see the background a little better with what I'm doing here. Get that nicely focused. Okay, pull those down. And I'm using my tail. I have it wrapped around my hand. Just pick it up like that, and then bring your fingers around, and then put your thumb there, and that gives it some tension. Just get those guys over here. Okay, so now your thread is coming out of this bead here. I moved my beads so that you can see what I'm showing you a little easier. There you go. So take this one, go across to the 15-0 next to it like that. Like that. Pick up a 15. Go down just that one 11-0. And you see the 15 just pops right into place. Go over to the other 11-0. And it's a bit awkward at the beginning, but once you have something to hang on to, it's a little easier. So go up through the bottom of the 11-0 next to the one we just went in, and you can kind of push down like that. Pick up a 15-0. Go down through the 15-0 on the side here, like that. And now we're going to go all the way, we're going to go across to the 11-0 next to the 15 that we just went through. Let me get my needle in here and then I'll show you what I'm doing. This is a lot harder to do on video. Okay. So here's my thread coming out of this middle 15-0, and I'm going to go across, go up through the 2 11-0s in that line. I'm just going to hold it there so you see it closes everything up. Now we're going to add 2 11-0s. So this is the herringbone part. Just go through the 1 11-0, and you got your 2 11-0s, and they just pop in just like herringbone. Now we're going to go over to the 15, like that. And I'm just going to hang on to that, pull it a bit. There. Pick up a 15, go down just the 1 11-0. That. Just pop that in there. Now you're going to go up through the bottom of the next 11-0. And I'm just going to pull that snug. Pick up a 15-0, go down through this 15-0, pull it through like that, go across. So now you're down 2, so go across to the second from down from the top of the 11-0, go through the 2 beads. We want to come up to the top. Like that. Pick up 2 11-0s. We're back to our herringbone stitch. Go through just the 1 11-0. That. And you can kind of nudge them so they sit side by side. Like that. Take your thread, go across to the 15-0. Go through that 15-0. Pick up a 15-0. Go up to the first 11-0 and just go through it. And that's going to place your 15-0. That. Go through the 11-0 from the bottom up. That. Pick up a 15-0. Go down to the 15-0. So that puts that one in place. So now we're down 2 rows. We're going to go through the 11-0s in the row next to the one we just added. But we're going to go through the 2 so we can get to the top of the 15 or the 11-0s. That. So 2 11-0s in the herringbone stitch. Like that. Over to the 15. Pick up a 15. Go down just the 1 11-0. Like that. Go over to the 11. From the bottom up. Like that. Pick up a 15. We're going to go down to this 15. And then right next to it, go up the 2 11-0s. And that should tighten everything like that. Pick up 2 11-0s. Doing our herringbone stitch again. So you're only going down 1 row. I have seen people go down 2 rows. You can do that too. It's the same amount of thread, so it's not a big deal. We're going to go over to the 15. pick up a 15. Go down the single 11-0. Go up the 11-0 next to it. Pick up a 15. So I'm going a little bit faster. This stitch I find is super simple, and you get to kind of maneuver your hands and figure out where to hold things for you, what works for you, it very quickly. So it's really nice in that sense. Very meditative if you do beading like this, where you're passing through the same thing often. But the problem that I had with it is that for adding things onto, using this as a bezel and adding things on it, I found it was hard to get my needle in and to get things sitting evenly across. So definitely, if you have any suggestions, I'd really appreciate it. Because I love actually the way it looks. Now, maybe part of my problem sometimes is I see a stitch and I go, oh, that would be so cool if I did this with it, before I actually learn the stitch. So I don't know if it's actually going to work in that instance, but I'm like, I'm going to make it work. You can't tell me I can't do it. Can you tell that's the kind of kid I was? I was like, no, I'm going to do it anyway. I'll show you. So I never give up. So you're going to continue this for a 14 millimeter pearl. You're going to continue this for 27, I think. Now, that's what I got on both of these, but you could probably do 28 as well. Now, here is the other problem that I had, is as much as I took my thread at the end and I wove it through the 15 O's and tried to pull tight, you look at the spacing. There you can see the thread. It almost looks like you could put a whole other 15 O in there. Now, I feel like my 15 O's are pretty small, this is the other thing. So let me just say, these beads here are Tohos. So Toho 11 O's are definitely bigger than a Toho. Let me just make sure. These are Miyuki. No, let me see. Check gold beads. Okay, and let me get you a Toho to show you the difference. Look at the difference. So that spacing is going to make a difference because of the way we're putting these on. So if you think your 15-0, how tiny that 15-0 is, the spacing that you need from the larger bead to the smaller is less. You could almost use an 11-0 next to this, which is what I have at the bottom. So yeah. So let's work on this one. I have 24 on this one, and we'll go to 27. We'll go to the point where you can get this attached, and I'll show you how to attach it. Super simple. Let's get rid of all these threads here. Let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure I had the right side. Okay, so we say 24. I'm going to put the beads out. 4, 25, 26. So it's only 3 more times. I just counted, double that, 6 beads. So our next step would be to add 2 11 O's. Go to here. That. Go up the 15. And I think I had kind of squished this one together like this, so we can flatten it again so it looks the same. So I just picked up a 15, go down 1 11 0, closest to the 15 we just added. Now go up. So you may think this is weird, I'm going in a different direction, and I am. So depending on where you started, you could be going up and down the beads in a different way, but you'll know exactly when you're adding them which way to go. So there's a 15. We're going to go down this 15. And actually all you have to do is do this. So I didn't mean to confuse you. Okay, so I just went down the 15. So I'm down 2. I'm going to go up 2 of the 11 O's. That. Then this is weird. I should be adding a 15 here. I feel like I'll try this. Go down. Like I feel like I should be adding 2 15s there. I'm going to go up. That. Yeah, that's really weird. I'm going to go back out. I want to add 2 11s. And that's just hooked. There we go. Okay, let's come back out this 11. I may be on the bottom. I think I am. But the thread's longer on this. Yeah, this is the bottom of. So maybe a stop bead would be helpful to identify your top and bottom. But I know that I'm not going to have enough thread to finish this. I thought I was being smart by getting it all ready for you. Okay, so let's add 2 11 O's. Like that. There. Go up the 15. Pick up a 15. Go down the 11. Go up the next 11. Pick up a 15. Go down the 15. And go up 2 of the 11s. Right there. There. Now we're going to add 2 11 O's. Just go down the 1 11. Those in place. Go over to the 15. Like that. pull, pick up a 15, go down the 11 next to that 15, go up the next 11-0. It's kind of like a figure 8 that you're doing. And get your 15 and go down the 15, go over 2 to the 11-0s, 2 needle in there, go up those 2 11s. That. Okay, so this should be long enough. Let's check. And it's not. Not sure why. Let me see if I can. Well, we'll just keep going till it fits. So that would have been 27. There's still quite a bit to go. Let me see, probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 8. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, keep going. We'll get you there. These are pretty quick. So pick up 2 11-0s, go down the 1 11-0, go up the 15-0, pick up a 15-0, go down the 1 11-0, and let's pull that snug there. Go over to the other 11-0 and then go up it. That. Pick up an 15-0, go down to the 15-0 below, pass through it, go over to the second 11-0 in the second row below, and go through the 2 11-0s in that row. Pick up 2 11-0s, go down just the 1 11-0 next to the one you're coming out of. That. Go up through the 15-0. And each time you're pulling it to kind of get those guys positioned, pick up a 15, go down the 11-0 next to where your thread's coming out of. That. Go up through the bottom of the 11-0 next to the one you've just passed through. That. Pick up a 15-0, go down through the 15-0 below. Losing my thread here. Go up 2 11-0s in that row next to the 15. Pick up 2 11-0s. So you see how fast it can be to do these. So I mean that's fun too, because you can do a lot of stuff. Go through the bottom of the 15, pick up a 15, go down through the top of the 11 in the next row, like that. Up through the bottom of the next 11-0 and pick up a 15, go down through the 15, go back up through 2 11-0s. That. These should be the last ones. that purl keeps growing, I think. Pick up 11 O's, go down through the 1, 11 O, kind of pop those in place, go over to the 15, coming up from the bottom, pick up a 15, go down through the first 11 O, pull your thread down till it goes next to it. Now go up through the bottom of the second 11 O that you just added. Pick up a 15, go down to the 15, that's the first one that's available there, and then go up to 11 O's in that row. And we'll check where we're at. So this is what we have so far. Getting there. Actually, I think we could probably attach it now. Here, let me hold it that way. I think I would like to add one more. Because I feel like maybe on one of these, this one here, I think, you see how you see very little of the purl compared to the backside. And I think what that was is I didn't make it long enough. So it kind of did this. It squinched it to the side like that. So that could be why I thought 27 and this was another 4 stitches on top of that. So 31 is what you would have. So 32. And I'm going to write that down and I'll put it in the description for people. So let's say 32 rows. And what are we calling this, herringbone? That's the other thing. I've heard it called square stitch and herringbone, and actually the way I'm doing it, it sounds like it's both. The middle is herringbone and the sides are square stitch. It needs a new name. It needs a name on its own. It's a big girl now. We will call you Baby Squirrel Stitch. Okay, let's do one more. There. Up the 15. Pick up a 15, go down. So as much as I ran into those problems with the thread showing and the 50 nose being too small and trying to attach things to it, I think I will still be using this quite a bit, this stitch. It's just I have to be careful with what projects, because I think I got spoiled with peyote. You can attach just about anything to peyote stitch or strip. My hands are getting cold, so I have a hard time getting the needle in the spot that I need it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Good. Okay, so you can hold the purl in there if you want. You don't have to at the beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to weave back and forth till it's closed up. So let's take our working thread. We're going to go down the same row that we're in. I would definitely secure this closed with the 11 O's. just because they won't move around as much. But if you were to do it with the 15 O's, you would get a lot of movement. We will pass through all of the 15 O's to try and close them in a little better. Okay, so directly across, let's do 3. Go down 3 11 O's. And that's why people don't put the bead in there right away. Let's go like that. Pull down. And I'm going to go over. Directly over. So we're going to go up 3 11 O's. Like that. And at this point, it will bring that closed. There. Then go down 3 in the same row. It's 4. 3 in the same row that you crossed over. Here, this is. Oh, it went through the thread. Let's move this over here. So let's pull that tight. Cross over 3 beads. And go across 3 of the other side too. So total of 6 beads. Move that thread out of the way. Let's do one more time on this side. So go 3, go across 3 on the other side. So that should make that totally secure. Okay. Now, what I like to do to keep the pearl in position is I like to go through the pearl a couple of times. So where my thread is, I'm going to go through. So I'm just going to go in between the 2 11 O's. And you saw how I just moved that pearl, the opening, and then go to the other side. This also, when we start to tighten these 15 O's, that running through the hole of the pearl will keep the pearl in position so that hopefully it's even on both sides when we tighten these guys. So let's just, we're going to go through a few 11 O's to secure that thread, and then we'll pass through again. So just do 3 here. Now it's really starting to, like, you can't move that much. Let's go back 3 and then find the hole. That. The hole should be there, but there is a little bit of movement, so you might want to move your needle around like that. Find that hole, come through there, and that will secure that. So now I am going to go through the 11 O's on the side closest to the 15s. I mean, you could go to the other side because we'll have to do the other side, but we can use the tail to go through one of the sides. So let's go. I'm going to go through a bit and then I'm going to slide over to the 15s. So let's go to the 15. So you're going to go to the 15 that's right next to the 11. Now, there's quite a space there. You could put a 15-0 bead there. Let's see what that looks like. Because that was what I was running into. Like, if I were to just tighten all of these, I don't think it would close that gap. So let me see here. Let's go through a few and see if that will pop in there nicely. It does tend to, if you look at it, does tend to stick out a bit. But once you go through it a few times, it's fine. And you could actually attach it to one of those 11-0s. So let's go all the way through all these 15s. So you can see, look what's happening already. There's less purl on this side than that side. Just by tightening. So you can do it where you pass through these but don't tighten, and then take the other end and use it for the other side and do the same, and then tighten them at the same time. But you can also, I just moved it around and it seems to have gone through a bit. Make sure that doesn't come out. And that was the one that we added on. So that is tightening without paying attention to the other side. So let's go to the other side. Let me take my needle off on this one, because we'll keep both needles on so we can tighten it if we need to. Okay, so we need to go up. I'm going to go up 2 11-0s. My thread is coming out of the other 11-0. The thread's coming out of this side. I want to be closest to that side so we can start working on those 15s. There. Again, I think we need a 15 in there. So we'll go through those beads and pick up a 15 and then go through all the 15s on this side. So that was my other issue, was I felt there was a gap when, what am I doing? I just have to go through these. I felt there was a gap. So here, look, here's another gap that a full bead could fit in there. But we're going to tighten and see how far we get with this. Little hard to see with the gold thread too. It has nothing to do with me getting old. Are you ladies getting old too? People keep moving things on you. I know I put it here. Yeah, it's fun now with my wife and I. It's like, I will say something like, oh, this is great, we're getting old. She's like, what do you mean? We are old. Shh, shh, don't say that. I'm not old. I'm vintage. Okay, so we have both sides. That one's going that way and that one's going that way. So let's see. I'm kind of holding it open on the other side as I pull. And I should do the same on this way. Hold it against my fingers so that it's pulling it but not moving the pearl. But you can see, look how tiny it is on that side. So let's see if we can nudge it a bit. That looks even. And let's just tighten this. So I think you're going to get a little bit of spacing on those beads. Okay. So you can leave these threads on. And let me show you what I did to create these guys here. So let me see how hard it is to get my needle through. That was the other issue I had, was now that I've gone through things so many times, it was hard to get the thread. So let's go to the very next bead, next to the 15. Go through a few. Actually, it's not too bad. That. And pick up an 11-0. And you know what I might do is I might cross over. So what I did on the past one was I looped it on the one bead. I looped it on the one bead and came back and then went through this bead and then anchored it to the other side. I think if I take this bead here and go across to the very next bead, that should do it. That. Oh yeah, and the thread's going through pretty good. So what I want, that bead, yeah, that's not going to work. See, the hole is this way, and I want it this way so that I can attach pearls. But you know what? If I leave it like that, it should be fine. Yeah, I think that should work. So let's try that. If you guys are up for it, hang out with me. If not, turn the video off. Go home. No, that's not very polite of me, is it? I invited you here. So here's the spacing issue I had. So what I did was I eyeballed it because it's not even at all. 32 divided by 4 is, I think 34's 8. So yeah, it ranges between a 7 and an 8. So what I did was I did one side and then the other side. And then I found the midpoints after that. So let's go all the way. Make sure I have enough thread here. So I'm just going through the 11s. And just take your needle and eyeball it like this. So we're going to need to come out here somewhere. Just put my nail there. So we'll have it. You want to come and talk to my friends? My wife was at the door. It's dinner time. You know, if I didn't have a wife, I would be online all the time and I'd never eat. Okay, so I think I went a little too far there. Hi, honey. Sometimes the cat comes to the door too. And I have a set of pearls on the handle, and the cat jumps up to the handle and plays with the pearls till I open the door. Okay, so let's find this midpoint. So yeah, I went a little far, I think. So what I'll do is I'll go backwards. One, that one. Let's turn it around and add the other stuff. Okay, so let's look at these. Yeah, that's good. They look not too bad. Centered. And then we'll put one there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about for adding. It bit me. Let's go midpoint here. That may be. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that. And go across. And I'm having a hard time seeing. That's pretty good. And I'll just keep going. So I have to say, this is going through a lot better than when I used these, the large Toho beads. So I don't know why it should be easier to go through a bigger bead. Oh, I lost my thread. Here, let's almost lost that one. Let's put I'm coming out of my 15-0. I'm gonna go to the 11 and I'm gonna find the midpoint here. It's almost there. Maybe there. Let's see. Go over one. Yeah, I'm getting tired. It's been a rough few days. My neighbor passed away, and it was a bit unexpected for us. I'm sure it wasn't for her. I didn't realize how sick she was. So, yeah. Okay. I'll go through a few, come back, and with the spare thread, I'll give you an example of the adding. Now, see, this is where it's starting to get sticky. There. That looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so now I need to go back over so I can get through. That bead. I guess, again, I'm a little spoiled for not using pliers to pull through stuff. I see other beaders that do a lot of this intricate stuff and they use their pliers. So I'm going through the bead, and of course, remember how I said the bead is sitting in the wrong angle for me to attach? It's not going to matter once we get the beads on there. So I'm going to pull through like that. Let's get some lovely. What colors should we put? I think we need to try a different color. Ooh, I have some really cool purple beads. Iridescent purple Swarovskis. That one's tied in a knot, and that one is too. Okay, I'm just going to cut it. So I often put an accent bead on the edge like that. Then one for the middle. These are so pretty. Then another. I think these are 8 millimeters. Did I have? No, I don't have it written on the bag. So something like that. And go through the next one, the next bead that we added. See how that turned out. Perfect. It's a little kind of off, so you might want to actually skip the ones here because you have those beads there. So let's try that. See what that looks like. And then it's up to you to do whatever design you like. We can do the pendant one that I use the peyote stitch for. I can show you all that. I know some people were asking about learning peyote stitch. So that seed bead stuck there. Eh? Oh, it's static. Like that. Pick up the pearl. There. So just like that. And go through and see what that looks like. Yep, that's better. Much better. You could maybe add something different in here. Depends, like you have to consider, am I going to put anything else there? So on one of them, this one here, instead of this bead here, I actually had a third 6 millimeter pearl there, and it looked incredible. But so there is that design to get things ready to, let me open this up so you can see everything here. To get things ready to embellish it however you want. And if you're interested, let me know. We can do this one because this one is done with, we may have to do it in pieces. This one's done with peyote stitch bezel around. And then this one I just made up as I was going. And this is a Rivoli to go with it. So there you go. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.